Hi guys, so this will be for the month of October. I'm going to do things a little bit differently this month. Instead of doing particularly a love scope, I'm going to do a general reading for your zodiac sign, and we'll just talk about anything that comes up and just take it from there. If this reading doesn't resonate with you, check your rising, moon, and Venus signs, and there may be messages for you there, okay? October is going to be a crazy month astrologically. Not only is there 2 full moons, but there's like a ton of other stuff going on in October, so it's going to be a really active month with a lot of changes and a lot of like forward momentum is the general theme for everyone. But let's do the water signs next. So I did the fire signs, so let's start with Cancer. All right, so for Cancer, let me get some oracle cards for you to start the reading. This is the wisdom of the oracle deck for Cancer for October. Milk and honey. Milk and honey. This is all about abundance. Good things. So recently you've been in a state of peace, very content. Feeling like you have a lot of abundance in life. And that definition is going to differ for individuals. Actually, let me I'm going to grab an energy oracle card next. Cancer for October. Contract. So your definition of abundance may be changing. If you look at this card, this is also very similar to the Justice card because we do have the scales represented here, which is about balance. But the first full moon in October, on October 1st in Libra season, will be in Aries. And so I feel like your definition of what this is will be shifting. Okay. There's also some kind of contract that you may have been involved in that was very fulfilling or lucrative. There's some issues around this contract at this time. In the recent past, it may have been really good, may have been working out. There may be some changes coming in October. Let me look into this a little bit further. For the heart of the reading, I'll grab a Spirit Animal Oracle card for Cancer, October. You may have been dealing with an air sign, a Libra. If this was about relationships, Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. There was another reading that got this at the heart of the reading. I think it was Sagittarius. So you may have been dealing with a Sagittarius. There's some kind of contract. It could have been a soul contract, a contract for work. There was something that was working well, and see how she's kind of blindfolded here? There's going to be some changes around this contract, whether it was with work or like in terms of a relationship or even just in terms of self. Some kind of belief system may be changing that you're going to become more balanced with. Let me look into this a little bit further because that could be going several ways. Get a map oracle card. But yeah, Swan Spirit is time for a deep dive. So really what I'm seeing is taking off the blindfold, really evaluating the situation. Is it just on the surface, or are things really milk and honey? Okay. The advice is to look into that further, really reevaluate the situation. because it may not be what it looks like on the surface. Encouragement. So I think that you're becoming aware of this. If you haven't yet, it may be coming. That you're becoming aware of, encouragement, mountain. There's going to be some challenges ahead. Some things are going to be realized about what things that you thought were working well that maybe aren't, and it's going to cause you to go within and really evaluate the situation, take off the blindfold, and look at things from all angles. And this is also about being guided by people who have passed on. I feel like this is direct advice from them, whether it's in regard to a business contract, a soul contract with another individual. They're saying things, aren't as they seem on the surface. So really take a deep look at this, okay? Let me get a Sacred Destiny Oracle card. Abundance. It has to do, initially that was the first word that came to mind when I saw this card. It's your definition of abundance. It's going to be completely redefined in October. It's going to be transformed in October, Cancer. What your definition of true abundance is. Again, in the recent past, you felt like things were kosher, everything's good. There were some things that may have happened that you may have been covering your eyes because you're like, no, things are good. And it's not bad to take off the blindfold, you guys, because there really are things that are out of balance here that you're not seeing. But your definition, because we start with essentially abundance, milk and honey, and we're ending with abundance. It's full circle with a transformative process of what your definition of abundance is. And you're being encouraged by those who have passed, who are looking after you, okay? To take this deep dive, to reevaluate and transform what your definition of abundance is. What things are you committed to with a blindfold? All right? That's causing you really to be imbalanced. But on the surface, you're like, no, things are good. So you're being asked to take a deep dive and take a look at that. There's things there that maybe you're not seeing yet. That will require closer evaluation, and your definition of abundance will be transformed. It's not a bad thing, you guys. Realizing what's most important to you, that's actually a really, really good thing. So I'm going to clarify this with some tarot. I'm going to use Mystic Mondays tarot. Let's clarify milk and honey for Cancer for October. It has to do with love. It has to do with love. Love for self, and self-worth. Okay? These are things that are going to test you, and your definition of this. Some things may become clear to you that things aren't as they seem on the surface. Let's see. Contract. King of Wands. King of Wands. So this has to do with ego. This has to do with ego. That's how I'm taking it. You could also be dealing with a masculine energy, a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. The King of Wands is very dedicated, passionate leader. One of his pitfalls is he can be egotistical. And I feel like that's kind of what's not allowing you to see what's actually going on here in this situation. Swan Spirit, time for a deep dive. 10 of Cups. This has to do with complete emotional fulfillment. See how we went from the Ace to the 10? And then we started with milk and honey and we're ending with abundance. This is a, these are lessons in love, okay, for emotional fulfillment. Is this time for a deep dive? Is this contract, okay, actually giving this to you? Is it actually emotionally fulfilling for you? Or are you kind of having your guard up a little bit, your ego, and you're like, no, things are good with the blindfold on. You're being asked to reevaluate this situation. Encouragement, let's see. Doesn't want that one. Okay, it wants that one. It wants 2. Okay. So 9 of Swords and the Emperor. So 9 of Swords is about having a lot of anxiety. It's about sleepless nights, maybe even nightmares. Whoever is guiding you and sending you encouragement, who has passed, could be like an ancestor or a relative who's watching after you from the divine. They see that you have been in this energy and they're trying to give you encouragement. Okay. Sometimes it's tough to look at things without rose-colored glasses on. That's what this message is saying all over. You've been looking at things with rose-colored glasses. Okay. Once you establish what your definition of complete emotional fulfillment is by going within, you may have some sleepless nights over this or some anxiety. Just know that you are being guided and watched over. Okay. And then in terms of abundance, the clarifier card is the Emperor, which is the card of Aries, okay, who's also a fire sign. So a lot of fiery energy here. But it's clarifying abundance. And this is about being a leader, having healthy boundaries. It could also be a father figure. What I'm taking it for in terms of abundance, to reach at the heart of the reading, what truly makes you happy with the people you love? What gives you complete emotional fulfillment internally with your soul family? Okay? It's going to redefine your definition of abundance and have you establish those healthy boundaries. Okay? Since we also got the King of Wands here, I mean, there's a lot of water and a lot of fire on the table right now. If you're not dealing with a fire sign, it just represents energy, okay? I feel like there may be some, because the Emperor can also represent a father figure, I feel like there could be some issues, because we all embody masculine and feminine energy, and I feel like that's out of balance for you. Like your masculine energy is a little out of balance. Okay? And that's what needs to be reevaluated. All right? Overall energy at the bottom of the deck, Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands. So we have the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands, and the Emperor. So if this reading is resonating with you from a love standpoint, I mean, this has to do with like a power couple. It may be like you guys work together even, is what I'm seeing. And there's some issues that need to be addressed here in terms of boundaries. But this is about taking your power back. So it's about, as I was saying, you know, having a balance of those masculine and feminine energies within yourself, and it'll start to be reflected in your relationship. But there's something here that either you're not seeing into, like, or you're choosing not to see. But there's something deeper here that needs to be addressed in terms of emotional fulfillment for yourself. Let me get some Arrows of Love Oracle messages to clarify this reading a little bit more. Yeah. So, cactus heart guarded. I feel like it goes along with the blindfold, right? And contract. There's something that you're choosing not to open yourself to, unintentionally or intentionally. It could be subconscious or it could be intentional. Okay. But it's inhibiting you from reaching this 10 of Cups energy, complete emotional fulfillment with your soul family, with people that truly have your back. Let's see. Past love. So what you've been through in the past, is causing you to have a little bit of a guarded feeling. Okay. What happens when you're guarded is you're unable to be completely vulnerable. You're unable to reach this energy. That's what is being encouraged to release. That's what's being encouraged to release, so that you can like really go within and be able to achieve this. And then look at what the cat dragged in: return and apologies and past love. So someone maybe coming back around, okay, from your past. The advice here is to have to stand in your power. To stand in your power and to maintain your healthy boundaries. Stand in your power, maintain your healthy boundaries. That's going to be crucial for this, okay? That's going to be crucial. And you are being looked after, all right? So pay attention to signs that you may be receiving. But yeah, there may have been a contract that ended with a soul connection, or at work. I feel like it has to do more with soul connection based on what I'm seeing. Let me see if I can get a couple outcome cards here. But someone's coming back around. Decision. It's time to decide about this relationship. There's someone that's coming back your way in October. And it's very clear the advice is to maintain your healthy boundaries. All right. There is going to be a decision that has to be made based on what you've learned, and how your definition of abundance has changed. If you let this person back in or not, it's going to cause some anxiety. All right. Vulnerability. You can be completely open with this person. So again, cactus heart guarded. Okay, and I was talking about being vulnerable. This contract was in your life for a reason. This contract was in your life for a reason. It was to teach this vulnerability from being guarded from what has happened in the past. And how are you going to let those circumstances that happened affect how you go forward? What lessons did you learn from that soul contract? Right? What lessons did you learn? Pay attention, take off the blindfold. It had to do with being guarded and being vulnerable, not just living on the surface, because we had this and then we came full circle, right? Milk and honey, abundance, and ended with abundance. It changed your definition of that. So what are you going to do with that now? All right. I don't want to just leave it like that. Let me grab a deck one from here. choices. That's being reflected several times here. 2 or more will be vying for your attention at once. You'll have to choose which one to pursue. A decision. It's time to decide about this relationship. So you may already be in a contract with someone, and someone from the past is coming back. That may also make sense. That also makes sense. So a decision is represented here. Based on what you've learned, taking a deeper look at everything, using that knowledge and applying it as wisdom in your life, establishing your healthy boundaries with your redefined definition of abundance and messages that you're receiving and encouragement from your ancestors, use that to guide you. Use that to guide you. Okay? So I hope that helps, Cancer. And I will check in with you next month. But yeah, October is crazy astrologically, so a lot of changes will be happening. As long as you go from the heart, okay? Keep your heart vulnerable, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Try not to be guarded, okay? I'll check in with you next month. Bye.